Well, good morning, everyone. Dr. Kondrot here. And let's see, I hope everybody's having a good day. And it's Ask Dr. Kondrot a Question. And I want to thank all of you for subscribing to Substack. It's really helps my wife and I. All of your subscription fee goes towards our mission work. And I'm excited to announce that we have a mission coming up over Thanksgiving. We're going to Ecuador. We're going to a orphanage, and we're going to be treating kids that have crossed eyes and other eye problems. So I'm looking forward to that. And we have another mission scheduled. We're going to the Amazon Delta region, remote area of the Amazon River in Brazil, to help the unfortunate that are blind with cataracts. So your subscription helps us on our mission. So thank you very, very much for that. So let's begin. We have a lot of eager people with their hands up. Let me go. And if you could just please tell me where you're from, your name and where you're from. So let's start with Claudia. She's
Hi,
up
I'm from
first.
I'm from Western Massachusetts.
Well, welcome, and thank you so much for being part of
Thank
Substack.
you. I had a cataract surgery done on both eyes for reading. They did it for reading, and because I've mentioned to you in the past because I have to fall asleep reading, and then I wake up in the middle of the night and I have to go back to sleep falling asleep reading, and I needed to not have glasses on because I lay down. So he did that, but I have found that this left eye is now blurrier. I don't see out of it. I'm worse now than if I ever had had the cataract surgery done. I can't read out of that. It's blurry. So he suggested I do a YAG capsulotomy,
Capsulotomy.
a
Uh-huh.
capsulotomy. And I'm wondering, could you tell me what do you recommend?
Well, that's a common um, I wouldn't say it's a complication. It's a common development after cataract surgery because what they do is they put the lens implant in a small plastic bag that's in the eye. And it's very common then to get a little bit of scar tissue that develops. It's a very simple procedure. And I always joke that a mediocre eye surgeon having a bad day, you'll still get good results. So I would highly recommend it. It's a very common procedure. It's simple to do. And actually, you'll get a tremendous improvement of vision instantly.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. And I'm sorry to have to leave you, but I have an appointment I have to get to. So thank you for,
Well, I'm glad you're up first. So we
yeah,
took care of
thank
that,
you.
and let us know how it turns out. But I think you'll be very happy with that. Okay.
Is there a certain amount of time I have to wait after the first surgery? He talked like 6 months, but does that matter
Not
or?
really. Sometimes we do it immediately. When I do cataract surgery in Africa, we routinely do that on everybody that has the surgery because
Okay,
I may not see these patients
right.
again. So we just preemptively open up the capsule so it
Okay.
doesn't
And
become.
can I just ask, last time I told you this about laying down and reading myself to sleep, you said, don't do that, sit up.
Yeah,
It,
I don't like that. It's bad for your body to be lying, ergomet ergometrically where our bodies are designed to be sitting when we're reading. I think you have better balance. I just don't like it when you're lying in bed reading. I think it's much better if you're
well,
sitting.
I'm on my side looking at it this way. So, okay, thank you.
Well, if you're happy with it and you're comfortable,
Okay,
maybe your body has adjusted.
well, it's been 40 years.
Hey, everybody's different.
I've been doing it for 40 years, so I guess it's adjusted.
I think your body's adjusted. Yeah, okay.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you. All right, let's move on. Louisa.
Hello, 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 hello,
Louisa
doctor. Can you
Rag.
hear me?
How do you pronounce your last name? Rag?
Rag, yes, Rag,
Rag.
yes, yes. I'm
Um,
calling from Ireland, and I came across your Substack a few weeks ago, and this is my first time on this call.
oh, well,
So
welcome. And Ireland is such a beautiful country.
it's the Emerald Isle
You're
for a
lucky.
reason.
You're lucky.
Yeah,
It's so green. It's so
Very
green, it
green.
actually hurts your eyes.
It does.
And
It's
why
green.
don't you have a background? You should show us the beautiful countryside there.
I will show you another time when I join, but
Right,
for
good.
now, thank you so much. So I have a question regarding this is for my husband. He has a thing called a pathology called retinal vein occlusion. It's something that I just came out of the blues, and he's been on injections for the longest time, and every time he stops, it comes back. So it's a monthly interval between monthly or bi-monthly. He goes in and gets the injections, but he's really anxious about them, and he's just wondering. We are wondering what else can we do to just is it will he always be on these injections for life? What is the
Well,
alternative?
you have to look at the underlying problem, and usually a retinal vein occlusion is due to either high blood pressure, stress, arteriosclerotic vascular disease. So he needs
Hmm.
to address those issues. I'd
Okay.
always say go back to basics. It's your
Okay.
diet, it's reducing stress, proper
Okay.
hydration, and
Okay.
exercise, taking care of yourself. Now, I don't know if you
Okay.
sent me a copy of his records, but we do offer that. There's no charge for that. If you send me
Okay.
a copy of his eye records, and
Okay.
then I'll review them, I'll give my
Okay.
recommendations to my assistant, my secretary, and she'll give
Okay.
you my recommendations. That's
Okay.
probably the best way so I can look at the exact details as to what's going on. Now, the other
Okay.
thing I love is homeopathy.
Oh, okay.
Homeopathy, I think that homeopathy, there's a big Irish Homeopathic Society.
There is. Yes, there is. We have
And I
it.
love homeopathy because homeopathy treats the underlying problem. Those injections are just, reducing the swelling, but they're not really doing anything with the underlying problem. So I would highly recommend, contacting a homeopathic practitioner
Practitioner. Okay.
in Ireland, or I would be happy to do a homeopathic consult. I do those. We do them on Zoom. I would review his
Okay.
records and talk to him, and we could work on trying to find a solution.
Absolutely. That will be fantastic. I will get his records and then send them on to how do I go about this if you don't mind me
I would
asking?
go to free consult, all one word,
Okay.
.us. And there's a
Okay.
place to schedule an appointment with my secretary, and then you can send the records. And
Okay.
probably the best thing to do is to email them
Okay.
because the
Will
post will
do.
take forever and it may get lost. But now with modern
Okay.
technology, it's so easy to email a record. Or what you can do is get a copy of the records and take a picture with your iPhone and then send it
Mm-hmm.
to us.
Okay. I can do that. Thank you so much. Thank
Okay,
you
and
very
thanks for
much.
being part of Substack.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Okay. All right, we'll move on. We're going from Ireland to Germany.
Yes, good afternoon, Dr. Kondrot. It's
Good morning.
afternoon here.
Good morning.
Uh, I had sent to Chris on Monday my latest documents from the exam, from the eye exam last week, and she has not yet responded. Should I resend or should I wait?
No, I'll be talking to her later. In fact,
Uh-huh.
Chris may be on this call. If you sent them Monday, maybe she hasn't forwarded them to me.
Oh,
Or maybe
okay.
she
Because
has, and maybe I'm not caught up with my email.
no, I was asking for a consultation with you personally. So
Oh,
I
okay.
was
Well, then,
hoping she
yeah.
answers and gives me some times where it would be possible.
Yeah, I think we're probably trying to find out a good time in the schedule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know that I'm booked this week, so it
Mm-hmm.
have to be next week or on the weekend. But we'll try to find a good time. But probably the best time for you would be in the morning, Eastern
Yeah,
time. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
because it's a 6-hour time difference.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll try to work it out so it's convenient for you, and I look forward to it.
Me too.
I look
Okay.
forward to it.
You recently in your emails you wrote about cataract is or maybe both, damaged or misfolded crystallines or proteins.
Yes.
I know now which type I have. It's
Mhm.
anterior subcapsular cataract.
Okay,
If you know,
that gives the
oh,
location. It's in the front part.
yes,
The
that's,
cataract, oh, the lens of the eye has different layers, the anterior, the
mhm.
central, the posterior. And that would be very helpful for me because in the homeopathic literature, there are different homeopathic remedies depending on the location of the cataract.
Okay. And does it say, the location doesn't say anything whether they are damaged or misfolded, the proteins?
No, I would have to look at your records.
Oh, okay. Hopefully it's on the picture. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Hmm.
Okay. Mhm.
And
Thank you.
I do know a little bit of German. I,
Okay. Yeah, because her report, like it's in German. The pictures she took, the machines put it out in English. Obviously, it's
mhm.
an English software, but what she wrote is in German.
Yeah, but now with Google Translate, it's so easy to
Okay.
understand all the details of the record. So I'll get on it, and I look forward to talking to you. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to Michelle. Michelle, hello. Could you unmute?
There you
Good.
go. Okay. I was
How are
trying,
you?
it just wasn't going. I'm doing fabulous. How are you?
Where are you from?
South Bend, Indiana.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Now we're back in the US, Ireland, Germany, and now South Bend.
Yes, yes.
And it's very green. It's green in South Bend. Maybe not as green as Ireland, but it is
Well,
green.
but I'm Irish. I'm a Donovan. So there you go. And I have a very good friend in Germany.
Yeah, it's funny, the world is getting smaller,
Yes, yes. I
and
was
it's so
there.
nice. Yeah.
I was in Germany in 2001, and she lives in a little village by the Black Forest. So she's like in the Switzerland was here and the Black Forest, and she was like right in the middle. It was
Mhm. You know
beautiful.
what? That's so unfortunate because, in Europe, they have the little villages and people know each other. There's like a nice little community. We just don't seem to have that in the US.
Yeah, yeah, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's really,
My question is, my eyes are doing so well. I mean, it was my left eye that the macular degeneration turned wet. And so when I went to my eye doctor at this point, it was maybe about 4 months ago now, I couldn't even see the chart. And so I'm doing so much better. In fact, these glasses in my right eye, I'm actually able to read some things without my glasses. I mean, I have to make them a little bit bigger.
mhm,
So my eyes in general are improving. Um,
wonderful.
but is it normal to sometimes for this left eye, like one day I can read something with my glasses on that before I wouldn't have even been able to see it. And then like, so one day I can read it, the next day I have to make it bigger or it's more blurry. So is that normal going through this process? Like these glasses are from probably 2017 that I'm wearing right now.
Mm.
Thank goodness I kept all my
Well,
old.
the vision, human vision, it fluctuates. It depends on our emotions. It depends on our hydration. It depends on the blood sugar level. So there's hundreds of things that influence our vision.
Okay. Okay.
So, the best thing to do is you be like a detective and you try to figure out, what is going on when your vision is at its optimum level.
Okay.
What have you done that day? What's your emotional state when it
Okay.
declines? What's going on?
Okay. And actually, when I was waiting to ask my question, it did come to me that I've probably in the last couple weeks, anyway, week and a half, I've eaten a little more sweets than I normally do.
Now we
So
know.
that
Oh,
And I thought,
Sugar,
but I'm going to ask the question
sugar
anyway.
is a poison. Sugar is a poison.
So I've got a feeling that might have something to do with it.
All right. You diagnosed yourself. You don't need
There
me.
you go. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's move on to Joy. I hope I pronounce it right. J-O-I, Joy?
Hi, actually it's Joe, but I think my nickname was like
Joe,
there from
okay.
something. Thanks
Where are
for
you
taking
from?
the question. I'm from Naples, Florida, and I saw you when you had your office in Fort Myers. And
Wow, that's quite a few years
I
ago.
think it was like 2015, somewhere in there, or something like that.
Yeah.
You diagnosed me with a vitreomacular adhesion at that time, and we used some homeopathy and we used some things, and we seem to have prevented it from tearing a hole in the macula. Um, I don't, I never got vision fully restored to the right eye. I'm lacking the central vision. Um, but, and I don't know, I will try to get a consult with you, I think, for the whole thing. I can spin through these questions quickly, but I think it's probably too complicated to do on a Zoom call. From that vitreomacular adhesion, after that, I ended up with 3 retinal tears
Oh,
that they
my.
lasered, 2 in the right eye and 1 in the left eye. And I have pictures of that in the records from a couple years ago. She didn't take pictures this time, so I'll just have to send you what I have from the previous doctor who owned that office. And I always had some floater, and I'm also a Lasix patient, which I really think this has something to do with the Lasix going back to that. But because all this happened after the Lasix surgery, like the vitreomacular adhesion was maybe, well, that was like 8 years after the LASIK surgery. But they corrected me for nearsightedness, and I almost instantly went to monovision. Right eye saw close, left eye saw far. And then that vitreomacular adhesion happened in the right eye, and the astigmatism returned and everything else like that. It's like the right eye just went back to where it was. And then I had those retinal tears in that. So I was struggling with floaters. I've been struggling with them for a long time. And matter of fact, it's funny, I reached out to you a couple years ago, and since then, um, I actually have become an FSM student, and and matter of fact, I'm an FSM practitioner. So I use the Inspirstars in my practice. I have several of them, and so I've been using all of the floater protocols. I don't know if they came from you or where they came from, because I've gotten them out of the group. It hasn't helped at all. And recently, I hit my head. I fell off the stairs and hit my head on the side of the garage when I was coming out of our camper. And the floaters seem to have like come to the front really bad, like a curtain, like I'm walking around looking through a dirty fishbowl. I mean, they are bad. And I automatically assumed it might be retinal. So I went and I got the exam, and she said, no change to the retina. Everything's okay. And she said, you just kind of knocked you had these floaters floating around in there, but maybe when you hit your head, you knocked them to the front. So then I go back to the question of, why are these floaters so bad? And I've been researching that, and I just recently stumbled across something. So I want your opinion on it. I do, and I'm working on backing it off now, have a diet very high in oxalates. Like, I've been making these spinach shakes every day. I eat way too much chocolate. It turns out like every food that I like is heavy in oxalates. Do you think that the floaters could be oxalate related?
Well, I do think that floaters can be related to toxins and inflammation. And you mentioned a lot of things here to the group. You mentioned FSM. Probably most of the people don't know what FSM is. That's frequency specific microcurrent. And that's something that I do in my practice, where we use certain frequencies to treat tissues. But actually, we don't really teach or treat the problem, we treat the cause. So there are no frequencies for floaters. There's frequencies for the cause of the floaters, whether it's
Yeah, I've been
inflammation, toxins, things like that. So probably I'd have to do a more depth analysis. I'd have to look at your eye records to see what kind of floaters,
okay.
because there's many different types of floaters. And then we have to look at your overall health to see if we can narrow it down to some type of treatment. But I do like homeopathy for the treatment of floaters.
Okay.
So we can work on that. And also, there is a procedure where we use a YAG laser and we break up the floaters.
Yeah, I'm scared to death of another
Well,
laser
you may be
after
scared to
all
death
this.
of it, but it can be very, very effective. And see, sometimes if it's a mechanical problem, alternative treatments will not help. It's like if you break your bone, you know, you need to go to a surgeon to get it put back together again. I mean, you can take different homeopathic remedies and microcurrent to reduce the pain, but it's not going to treat the problem. So sometimes a floater is a mechanical problem.
What can you explain that a little bit further? What do you mean by mechanical problem?
By mechanical, the eye is filled with a jelly called the vitreous.
Right?
And as we get older, that jelly shrinks and it can pull away from the back of the eye. That's mechanical. It broke away from the back of the eye. So
Okay.
if it's a mechanical problem, then we have to look more at maybe a laser treatment or something else to reduce the floaters. Now, if the floaters are caused by toxins or excessive amount of oxalates, like you said, then we can address those. So we have to look at the underlying cause.
And even parasites might be a factor with me. I have a farm. I have goats and chickens.
Could be
And
parasites. Yeah. Yeah. So we have to try to find out the underlying cause and then develop some type of treatment program.
okay, so I would go to, I need to how do I schedule a consult with you on the phone?
Well, go to freeconsult.us, all
Okay.
one word, freeconsult.us. You schedule a time, then you can talk to my assistant, Chris, and she'll schedule a time. We'll get a copy of the records and we'll get things scheduled for you.
Okay, so I guess I need to do that then.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for being part of Substack. Oh, there's a couple questions in the chat on how do I raise my hand?
That was me.
Okay, there's an icon called React. And if you hit the React button, there is a little icon. You click, raise your hand. See, I'm going to raise it there. My hand's raised. And also the React button, there's different emojis. Like, for example, there, I got hearts in my background because I love all of you and I'm happy you're part of Substack. So, and the other way, you can raise your hand the old-fashioned way, like this. But unfortunately, the way Zoom works, if you click the icon for your hand, you go to the top of the list. So if you do it the old-fashioned way, the computer doesn't put you to the top of the list, and I may not see your hand. I have to search through all the names. And let me see here. We have about 20 people here, and I may not see your hand. So, and the other way to do it is just to yell, "Hey, Dr. Kondrot, here's my hand." All right, so let's move on to Michelle. Hello, Michelle.
Okay. My next question, a couple months ago, I missed last month. So you talked about an ozone machine that you recommended that you'd use for a long time to make eye drops. And I looked that up and it's not available anymore. I don't know if they don't make it, but I looked all over for it. I found it, but there's nowhere to get it. It's out of stock everywhere.
Well, the two companies that I use is Simply 03.
Oops, I gotta get a pencil. Okay, Simply.
In fact, let me do a share screen, okay? Let me do a share screen here. 1 minute here, share.
Okay.
Here's Simply 03. SIMPLY 03. Or not 03.
Yeah, 03.
Let me copy this and I'll put this in the chat. Let's see here. Okay, it's in the chat.
Okay.
That's one place to go to. And then the other one is A2ZOzone.com. Here we go. And they have different ozone devices. And I'll put that in the chat.
That's interesting. I am a reseller and I have an eBay store, and the name of my e-store is Affordable A to Z Vintage.
Okay, now I'm going to Amazon. Ozone machine. Now you have to be careful because a lot of ozone machines reduce the air pollution.
Yeah, that's where I was looking for them, and I have one in my
So
cart.
ozone generator, water purifier. That's what you want to do. And here we go. This is the one. This is actually the one that I use. And this is the company A to Z Ozone right here. This is the one that I use. See, AZ Ozone Inc.
Okay.
And for those of you that maybe are on Substack for the first time and don't know what we're talking about, this includes like a little aquarium bubbler. And what we do is we ozonate saline, and we use those eye drops that treat dry eyes and inflammation. It's a wonderful treatment. You can also ozonate water and drink it. And so this is a very, it's a, a good investment. Those of you that may have dry eyes or blepharitis or problems like that, I would highly, the only drawback is you need to use saline that doesn't have any preservatives. So what I recommend you use the solution that doctors use, IV saline. And I know our office sells bags of IV saline. That's the safest to use. So you don't want to buy saline that has preservatives in it because it'll react with the ozone and cause problems. And whatever you do, don't ozonate water and put it in your eye, because that could cause burning, and because of the pH difference, that could cause a problem. But you can ozonate water and drink it, or you can ozonate your vegetables, before you cook them, because ozone destroys any bacteria or virus. And it's a way to purify. In fact, now a lot of swimming pools are ozonated instead of using chlorine. So ozone is really wonderful for general health. And while we're on the topic of ozone, what we can do is use ozone to help improve conditions like macular degeneration and glaucoma. And the way you do that is auricular, where you get a stethoscope and you run ozone into your ears, or rectal insufflation. You put ozone in the bag and you insert it rectally, and it's absorbed into your body. That's ways that you can use the ozone at home, but you can't buy that portable machine that I showed you. You have to buy a machine that uses oxygen, a tank of oxygen. It may sound a little complicated, but I do have 2 YouTube videos. If you go to YouTube and you search my name, Ozone, and I have a YouTube video on how to set that up at home. And speaking of ozone, I recently interviewed Dr. Robert Rowan, and we're going to be making that interview available to you. Dr. Rowan is one of the leading experts in the world on ozone. In fact, during the Ebola epidemic, and Ebola was a very serious viral infection. It was killing thousands of people very quickly. He went to Sierra Leone, Africa, and he successfully treated a couple of patients that had Ebola using ozone. And during the last COVID epidemic, that's one thing that I was doing at home. I was doing daily ozone treatments, probably one of the most effective treatments that you can do to treat any viral infection. So all of you that are members of Substack, you will be getting a link to my interview with him. And if you do want more information, go to YouTube. And I have 2 really good YouTube videos on how to do the auricular and the rectal.
Awesome. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay, we're moving back to Karen.
Yes, I am against my dry eyes. My eye doctor recommended a massage and 10 to 15 times and 10 to 15 times lower lid. And she said, after the shower, does it matter I forgot to ask her, does it matter at which time I do it? I don't know why she said after the shower I should do it.
Well, that may help because when you're rubbing these areas here, you're stimulating acupuncture meridians. But I'm going to tell you a really simple way to increase the water and tearing for dry eye patients. Humming,
Humming.
hum. Believe it or not, humming stimulates your parasympathetic system, and it can increase the tears. And also singing.
Okay, I know yawning should help.
Well, maybe the Germans for yawning, but humming, hum.
Humming, okay.
Try it, humming. And
Okay, thank you.
all right. Okay, going back to Joe. Joe?
Thank you. That speaking of ozone brings up something. So we bought a hydrogen machine for both inhalation and making hydrogen rich water. And I've been using the goggles, and it is wild. Like you use the goggles for an hour and your vision is crystal clear for quite a while. But it doesn't last forever. It seems to help, and I probably should use it more often. I'm like using it maybe every other day or every couple of days. I haven't been really good about it. But what is your opinion on hydrogen? I mean, why does it clear it up so wonderfully for that?
Well, it's probably an oxidative treatment, reducing inflammation, and the
Okay.
ozone drops will do the same thing. So the reason why it works really quickly, it's not treating the macular degeneration, it's not treating the cataract or the glaucoma. What it's doing is soothing the front part of the eye, making the tear film more homogeneous and giving you a much better level of vision.
Okay. So, and you said something about some drops.
Ozone eye drops.
Oh, so the ozone eye drops would be doing the same thing.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you can't buy ozone eye drops. You have to make your own.
Right, just like the hydrogen doesn't last long either. The molecules all want to go back where they came from, right?
Well, the ozone eye drops, you formulate, a bottle of ozone eye drops and you use them throughout the day.
And so that only lasts for a day too?
Well, it probably lasts longer than a day, but you have to reozonate it. See, the half-life of ozone in saline is about 2 hours. So what that means, in 2 hours, half the ozone's gone. You still have some. Then another 2 hours, half of that. So eventually it's depleted. So what I recommend is folks that are doing the ozone eye drops, you make a bottle in the morning, and if you have time, reozonate it in the afternoon around lunchtime, and maybe reozonate it in the evening. Or if you're busy and traveling, ozonate it in the morning and it'll probably still last by the end of the day.
So then could the same thing be done with the hydrogen rich water?
Well, I'm not familiar with the hydrogen. I can't give you any advice on that. I do like ozone. There's been a lot of studies on the ozone, but I think the hydrogen is the same principle. We're activating the molecule to, add energy into the body.
And reduce oxidation.
But I've studied the ozone. Many top alternative doctors are using it. There's documented studies. In fact, it's very, very popular in Germany, in Europe, Brazil, all over Europe. There's the European Ozone Society. And actually, I spoke at that meeting. There was a worldwide congress in Italy, in Rome, the World Ozone Association. And people presented topics, cases from all over the world. So ozone is widely established and documented. Unfortunately, in our government, if you call up the FDA and ask them their opinion on ozone, they'll say it's a toxic gas and it should not be used.
Well, they have, if I might change the subject a little bit and kind of along those same lines, what's your opinion on DMSO? Because I'm reading all of this stuff about DMSO and how it's benefiting the eyes being absorbed through the skin. So they're not even necessarily.
I'm not really big. DMSO is a carrier.
Yeah.
And I know that Dr. Rowan had a mixture of DMSO, ascorbic acid, and glutathione. He was using that in terms of cataract drops. It's a carrier. And
Right.
the
Well,
microcurrent's a carrier too. You know, when you do microcurrent on your eye, it's taking things into the eye. So I do not advocate DMSO eye drops. You know, I think it has some anti-inflammatory properties for treating joint pains and things like that, but I don't recommend DMSO eye drops. There's no really good documentation that it helps with glaucoma, cataracts, or macular degeneration. Now, if you combine DMSO with ascorbic acid or glutathione, that may have some benefit.
Okay.
But you have to be careful what you read. There's a lot of
Yeah,
garbage.
that's
There's
what
a
I
lot of
don't.
garbage out there.
Yeah, I know. I see that. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Actually,
you.
and I have to say goodbye actually because I never let the farm animals out and they're all out there in their barn screaming. Thank
Yeah,
you
the
so much.
goats. You don't want the goats to get loose.
No, they won't get loose. They'll just destroy everything. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a
Oh,
pleasure.
thank you. Thanks for being part of Substack. Okay, let's see here. I don't see any hands. Let me go to the chat just to see if there's any chat questions. Oh, I can't get to the chat here. Come on, chat. There we go. Oh, does gargling also help? Yep. If you gargle ozone water, that can help. And drinking ozonated water will help because some of it then is absorbed into your body. Also, when you ozonate the water you drink, you're actually kind of purifying it. You're removing any bacteria, parasites, viruses in the water. So that could be very beneficial. Okay, Michelle.
Yeah, the IV saline solution is IV because it's in a bag, or is there a
It's
certain brand?
intravenous. It's intravenous
Okay.
saline,
Oh,
which
right.
is the highest purity. So it's nothing but pure
Okay.
saline.
So
And it can be in a bottle or a bag.
okay. So as long as you put in IV saline, then you're going to get the pure.
Right, because
Okay.
it's given intravenously. Unfortunately,
Okay.
most companies only sell it to medical doctors.
Okay.
I mean, you might be able to get it, I think, if you're, you know, a practitioner, maybe an acupuncturist or some licensed practitioner, you might be able to get the IV saline. And so we do buy it in bulk, and then we make it available to our patients. So
Okay. I saw it on Amazon. That's why I thought, well, that's why I wanted to ask.
yeah,
So,
as long as it's IV and make sure that it's pure saline and it doesn't have any preservatives.
okay. Okay. Or just go on your website and then you have something there to order products in.
No, we don't have it on the website because you
Oh,
have to be, I think you have to be under a doctor's supervision to do it.
okay.
So you have to contact Chris or
Okay.
email her.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to Allison. Allison, hello.
Hi, thank you. I just kind of got lost in the ozone conversation. What's the ozone treatment for macular degeneration? Is that the rectal and the ear thing?
Well, ozone's a highly reactive form of oxygen. And
Yep.
anytime the body needs any type of healing, you need oxygen. So doctors have found out that administering the ozone either intravenously, uh, doctors do a treatment called major autohemotherapy. What they do is they take some blood out of your body, mix the ozone, and they put it back in. That's probably the most effective way, but then you need an IV. You have to go to a medical doctor. So a roundabout way of doing it is rectal insufflation.
Oh.
That's a common method for delivering medications, you know, rectal suppositories for pain medication, etc. So you put a small amount of ozone gas in your rectum and it's absorbed very quickly. The other way to do it is auricular. You get a stethoscope and you run it into your ears because there's a very delicate membrane in the ears which absorb the ozone very quickly into your body. So both of those methods can be very effective for getting the ozone into your body and then into the eye to treat macular degeneration. Dr. Rowan Dr. Schallenberger, other top alternative doctors feel that ozone can be extremely beneficial for macular degeneration. In my experience, it's extremely helpful, but it's not a quick fix. If you're doing it, you got to do it a couple times a week. It's a long-term treatment. So anytime you're dealing with a chronic eye disease, it's not a quick fix. So if you're doing microcurrent, it's slowly reversing it. If you're doing homeopathy, all these things, we're trying to reverse the aging process. But I would go to YouTube and check out both of my YouTube videos on
Okay.
ozone therapy, and also keep your eyes posted for, I'm going to be presenting my interview with Dr. Rowan, which I think you'll love.
I think I saw it already because I've been following Dr. Rowan for years.
Oh, you know what? He may have posted it on his Substack.
He did. It was a fabulous interview.
That was with me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Well, thank you.
Yeah, it was so cute the way the two of you kind of bantered back and forth like old friends that you
Oh,
are.
yeah, we've been friends for many, many years, and we did some amazing hikes in the Grand Canyon. And so, yeah, we've had a lot of fun over the years.
Very enjoyable. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Now we have another visitor. We have Linda Baldwin. Reverend Baldwin. You have to unmute yourself, Reverend.
There, can you hear me now?
We hear you. You're coming through loud and clear.
Okay, nice to see you. Two things. First question has to do with when the next prayer meeting is. Tell me that.
The
And-
next prayer meeting, it's the third Sunday. So not this Sunday, the following Sunday. Oh, those of you on Substack, we have a monthly prayer meeting. And thank you, Reverend, for bringing that up. It's a wonderful meeting. And we have probably maybe 20 or 30 people that get together, and we petition the Lord with our eye problems, and we pray for each other. So I believe in the power of prayer.
Please alert me you didn't the last time.
Okay, go to www. I'll put this in the chat. prayersforvision.com. All one word. prayersforvision.com. It's in the chat. If you go there, you sign up, and then right before the meeting, you will get a notification with the link to join.
Great. Now I have one more question.
Vision.
I have one more question related to stem cells and the color therapy. Will you explain how that works too? Because when I do the color therapy, I try to envision how that might be working.
Well, stem cells, our body has stem cells, and I've investigated stem cell therapy. I injected it in the eye. I've done it intravenously. And to me, I've been very disappointed with the stem
Really?
cell. Very disappointed. One thing I believe in, our body has existing stem cells. If you cut your finger, you don't need stem cell therapy to get the finger to heal. The body has stem cells which go to that injury and will help it regenerate. Likewise, in your eye, if you have macular degeneration, you have stem cells there that should be doing their job. Maybe the stem cells are sick. Maybe they're toxic. Maybe they're not energetic. And if you're 80, maybe you got 80-year-old stem cells that just aren't working. So we have to find ways to get those stem cells healthy. Probably the best way is healthy diet and nutrition. If you're eating garbage food with toxins and heavy metals, your stem cells are going to be sick. Also, your emotional state. If you're depressed or angry and your body's in disharmony, your stem cells are going to be in disharmony. So a healthy emotional state's important. Then other therapies that we talked about, like microcurrent, and you mentioned light therapy. Doctors are trying to figure out what can they do to stimulate existing stem cells. And they have found out that simple light therapy will stimulate stem cells. So when you're doing light therapy, photons are going into your eye and they're stimulating existing stem cells to help the eye to regenerate.
To what degree will those photons be stimulated by the light? To what degree, sorry, my phone's going off. Will it be accumulative? Will it be, yeah, I do it every day.
Yeah,
So
well,
can you,
it accumulates over time. Also, what light therapy does, it balances the autonomic nervous system.
and
And
okay.
that's critical.
Okay.
Because if your autonomic nervous system is out of whack, if you're in a sympathetic state, that's fight or flight. When
Right.
a grizzly bear is chasing you in the woods and you're running for your life, certain physiological things take place. And one physiological thing that takes place is your digestive system shuts down and the healing system shuts down in your body because you're running for your life. You know, your breathing increases, your heart rate, everything is survival mode. So I'm a firm believer that if your autonomic nervous system is not balanced, it doesn't matter what therapy you do, it's not going to be beneficial. So
Can I,
sometimes all it takes is balancing your autonomic nervous system.
yes.
And you don't need light therapy. You know, deep breathing. Remember when you were young and you got upset, your mother would say, take a deep breath. When you take a deep breath, that changes your autonomic nervous system. Also,
One,
positive affirmations. And I don't have to tell you this, Reverend, prayer.
yes, yes.
You know,
Can I interject something related to what you've just said? All the things that I'm doing, my remedy, the color, the microcurrent stimulator, has I think, along with my attitude, along with prayer, along with all the affirmations, along with eliminating stress, has begun to balance the autonomic nervous system, parasympathetic, sympathetic. I feel more balanced than I ever have in my life. And therefore, I'm noticing what I would call not a halting process of, say, like getting worse, but a backing off of the severity of the macular and those wavy lines that I've been having. And I can feel my body going, you're not going to get the best of me. You know, there's a way that I think we're moving forward into healing. But I want to tell everyone who might be wondering, how come you can't get this overnight? You can't. It takes a while for the body to heal. It takes a while because however many years you've not followed proper procedures or you've been under stress, you've got to get that under stress. And this balancing that I'm talking about is beginning to give me that ability to move forward into healing. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I think that's a very good illumination that you have, the understanding. I mean, the human body has an amazing ability to heal itself. Sometimes we just let the body do its job. And unfortunately, with modern medicine, there's so many things that are toxic and actually prevent the body from healing. You know, we
So,
were talking about injections, we were talking about all these petrochemicals that we're putting into our body. Sometimes
yes,
we can actually prevent the body from healing. I think sometimes just a simplistic approach, eating good, healthy food, reducing stress, proper hydration, exercise, and you know, the right mental attitude, the autonomic nervous system, and you know, the mind. That's why one of the reasons why I love homeopathy, because homeopathy, we treat the person. So if you have macular degeneration, and someone would ask me, what's a good homeopathic remedy for macular degeneration? I can't tell you because I treat the person with macular degeneration. And
but Dr.
everybody's different.
K, talk about, and you mentioned this before, and I've been really living on the power of this new vision, because most of us, when we come into the process of being going through therapy with your help, have come in with an old vision. Now we're working toward a new vision. Will you talk to us about what that means exactly?
Well,
New
I
vision.
think it's a new way of perceiving your life, a new way of perceiving your health, a new way of perceiving other people. You know, it's interesting. Most people think that the eyes are a receptor. In other words, you know, you open your eyes, you're viewing the world. The world is coming into you. But actually, the eyes are somewhat a projector. You're
Wow.
projecting into the world.
Wow.
You know, you can look at, you know, some people are always critical. The glass is always half empty. Other people, the glass is always half full. So, you know, your vision is also your perception of the world. And sometimes if you change your perception of the world, then your body and your health will change.
I
And
think
so,
that's good. That when you mentioned that changed the where I was at in the therapy. I've been with you since about 2007, 7, 8, something like that.
yeah, when I graduated grade school.
Anyway, that just changed my whole emphasis. And I thought, I've got a new vision. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're just going to heal overnight, but it's going to add more substance. It's going to build up a stronger foundation.
No, and actually, when you have new vision, you're helping other people too.
Right.
You're only helping yourself because, you know, we've all been around people that are optimistic and full of joy, and it's contagious. What we have to
Absolutely.
avoid is what I call the emotional vampires. These are people out there that suck your energy. And you know who I'm talking about. You
Yeah.
know, maybe a cousin or somebody. As soon as you meet them, all they do is start talking about their problems and this is going on, and you know, and you can feel your energy being drained. They're emotional vampires.
Well, the
So you
first
have to
thing
be
you said
careful.
to me, do you remember the first thing you said to me was stress is at the top of the list? That causes a lot of what we're going through.
Yeah, you have to address that. You have to address that.
So it all works together. Thank you. I thank you. I don't mean to take up all your time.
No, no, it's always great to see you, and thanks for being part of Substack. So
Thank you.
we're going to move on to Leslie. Leslie Newman. Leslie, how are you?
I'm doing great. Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear
Okay.
you. And where are you from?
North Carolina in the mountains. And I just started your program last week. I haven't even gotten my microcurrent machine yet, but I've been doing the syntonic light and the homeopathic, and I got my Aquamed, ordered those and started doing those a couple days. And I have no idea how it's affected my glaucoma, but I can tell you, my eyes hurt all the time before I started this. I mean, just all the time. This started a couple months ago, and they were just constantly hurting, and I'd have to massage my temples and around. And so that's, I'd say, 95% taken care of.
Well, that's a good sign because, you know, the body, you have to begin healing somewhere.
Yeah.
Usually pain is something that indicates the body is not in balance. So if the pain's going away, that I'm excited for you.
Yeah, so it's a great win. I mean, I thought, wow, this is great. You know, I've only not even a week, you know, so I'm very, very happy about that. And, you know, I noticed my eyes are just calming down, and, you know, I just feel like things look clearer, you know, not that I had horrible vision. I didn't, you know, it was like 2020 and 2025, but I was just noticing a lot of, reaction to light and things like this, which I know is the optic nerve kicking in, you know. But anyway, so I'm very, very pleased. I'm just thrilled.
Good. Well, keep us posted, and don't forget all the people that are part of my program. We do meet twice a month.
And I
So,
couldn't remember when is that?
that's usually the first and third week. Chris will give you the link. So
Ah,
if you're part of my program, then we meet you know, more frequently.
okay.
Mainly it's a coaching program I want to make sure that, you know, people have questions about the microcurrent and things like that. The Substack meeting is more for just general questions.
Right, and I was thinking about the other, you know, meeting, but I didn't have a
Chris,
link.
Chris will give you information on that.
Okay, because I
And
already
those
have,
meetings are a lot of fun because these are people that are, you know, doing the microcurrent homeopathy and
right, right.
so great. Well, I'm glad you're doing well.
Yep.
Okay, Karen, back to
Yes.
Germany.
What do
You Germans have a lot of questions.
yes. What do you think of pinhole glasses? Is it useful to wear
Yeah,
them?
yeah, the pinhole glasses. In fact, maybe it was the last meeting or so. The patient that noted that when he squinted, his vision was much better. And so the pinhole glasses can be a valuable tool to help improve your vision if you have macular degeneration or glaucoma. Because what it does, it eliminates all the bad areas of your eye and you can focus on one particular area. And the way the pinhole glasses work, and you may even want to do this experiment. How many people out there wear thick glasses? What you do is you just get a piece of paper and punch a hole with a needle and hold that up and look through that pinhole, and you're going to find out I can see clearly without my glasses. That's called the pinhole effect. So you ever notice that if you do forget your glasses and you want to see, you squint, you squint, you close your eyes real tiny, and that gives a pinhole effect. It's called the pinhole effect.
Mm-hmm.
So the pinhole glass, I mean, I don't recommend that you drive with them on. The police may pull you over.
No.
But they can be a way to relax your eyes and help improve your vision temporarily.
Yeah, because when I wear them, afterwards I see clearer, but it doesn't last very long.
Right, because you know what? You're training your brain to focus through that one part of your vision that is clear.
Okay.
And so that's what you're doing. And maybe with time, the brain will become more adjusted to that area and your vision will get better and better.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have one more question and we're coming to the close here. So let's go back to Michelle.
Actually, I don't have a question. I just wanted to throw this in since you brought up the prayer group. God in the Bible says 365 times, do not fear. So I say that's a reminder for one day, every day for 1 year, do not fear. And stress is what comes out of fear. So that's all I want to say.
Very good. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of Substack. And look forward. We'll be having another meeting probably in a couple of weeks. We'll let you know. So blessings to everybody. Take care.
Thank you. Bless
Thank
you
you.
all.
Bye.